which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Session tonight to discuss personnel issues, and I would like to make a motion to modify the agenda to approve final payments of the office renovations. Is there a second?
Second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is taping of the meeting, is anyone taping the meeting?
Yes, I am. Phil Pearsall, 40 online Cycle Road. I got a question real quick. Sometimes Tom's not here. Is he on the phone?
No.
It's never announced, so I wanted to ask. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that was special requests. Kyle Trailer, follow-up to unknown stream requests, authorization to send application and draft letter to the Domestic Names Committee. Is that you? Okay. Did you want to talk about it, or?
I gave you all a packet of documents and a draft of the proposal for the U.S. Geographic Names Committee, Domestic Names Committee. And if you're in agreement, I'll go ahead and
Okay.
so
I really appreciate all this information. It's a lot of history of everything.
Yeah.
And then, so the only thing that changed from what you had presented and talked about the last time was you changed the name slightly, right?
Right, because a journal of his was found fortuitously in the last place that he had lived. The new owners were cleaning out the little cabin where he lived, and so he had actually referred to the stream as Del Brook. So I thought it more appropriate to call it Berkey Del Brook. If you all are fine with that.
Okay, so we need a motion to authorize to submit the application and also for the township to draft a letter to the Domestic Names Committee. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Public comment, Barbara Dunn, Tony Court, Spring Valley.
So, a couple weeks ago, there was some kind, like a social media post about double billing on the sewer bill for auto pays. Was that an isolated case, or was that with new signups, or what was the story behind that? Because I want to alert the residents, our meeting got postponed from Tuesday to next week, so if that's an issue, I just want to make them aware of that.
It has happened in the past. Do you know if Lisa got an answer?
No. Something would express though.
Yeah. When Lisa's supposed to be coming back tomorrow, I can talk to her then.
Okay.
She had a family emergency, so.
All right, just send me an email, and,
Okay.
you know, if it's an issue with, like, maybe new accounts that are just signing up for new, I just want to let the residents know that so that they can check their bill and verify that it's okay.
And so the bills go out quarterly, right? So everybody should keep an eye on their account quarterly.
And I think it has something to do with, like, the first payment of the new year or something. It's something, I heard her say something about it, that she was gonna be talking to Giselle and also Express Bank.
The two communicating, right? The two-
Yeah.
Okay.
different-
Yeah, I just want to make sure the residents are aware of that in case.
And it only happened to just a select few, which
Yeah.
is strange.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah, an isolated case, that's what I thought,
Yeah,
maybe it
I
was
think
just
it,
an
she said it was
isolated
like
case.
14 or 15 people.
Okay. Maybe it was new accounts that were set up, something like, whatever. Okay. The second thing was, there were two incidents in Spring Valley. One was stalker, peeping Tom, whatever, you know. The lady lived alone. She called the state police. She stood there and watched him while he was peering in her windows. But he left like 30 minutes later, but the cops didn't show up for 45 minutes. So, and I'm just like, this kind of stuff will just get, people in an uproar because we don't have a police department. So when I started digging and looking into it a little bit, I know Bechtelsville Borough joined with Culverdale and Boyertown to have like some kind of police force. Is that something Washington Township ever looked into?
That would be Eastern Berks Police Department,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly, right.
It's definitely something we could look into, but the expense is through the roof. Even though it would be joining an already established organization, I'm gonna tell you, it's not cheap.
Yeah, even when you don't join and you contract with them, it's very expensive. And, I agree it's something can be looked at, but even because of what the cost is to equip and train a police officer, those costs are very high.
The second incident was, someone was walking down the middle of the street, and it was actually, on Stauffer Road. But because he was yelling so loud, she called the cops and just said, there's a disturbance outside my house, I don't know what's going on. And what she was told was, sounds like he needs some help, I'm gonna send an ambulance. So, there's no report on either case because, there was no police presence. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this very closely, but I don't know if it's, if we're the only ones seeing that or if it's, in the township, but just something for you to be aware of.
Have you considered maybe making a community watch, a crime watch?
I heard that they had
The
one,
lady
so-
who had, if somebody's looking in my windows, I would call all the guy friends I know and say, hey, why don't you all take a walk down the street towards my house and make some noise and,
Yeah, and
if you had,
And it was-
people.
it was dark night or something. So there were no guys, and yeah, I asked the question, so yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, it's a little bit of a concern, but I'll watch this closely, but, okay.
So the only other comment then that I would make about the police force, if you look into the history of, is it Pennsburg and East Greenville? Those two, they had quite the falling out. They tried to be a joint force and it ended badly.
And the same
It happened
happened
years
with Berks.
ago, Copelandale, Douglas Berks too, and it didn't work out.
And the Berks Lehigh force is another story where it did not work out.
Well, in Pennsburg and East Greenville were fighting over 30 years. So, there's a whole saga there, but yeah. Okay. Any other issues then?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Approval of the meeting minutes of December 18th, 2025. We do not have a quorum for those minutes. We can't approve those, correct? So we need to approve the minutes from the January 5, 2026 reorganization meeting. I will make that motion.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Township reports. A motion to approve the payment of all bills for the general fund, highway aid fund, recreation fund, streetlight fund, traffic impact fund, sewer fund, and building escrow funds up to and inclusive of January 22nd, 2026, and to file the treasurer's report for audit. I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, tax collector, Brenda?
Township taxes collected for December. Real estate tax was $6,082.18. Interim tax, $168.98. Per capita tax was $1,204.50. That was a total of $7,455.66.
thank you. Fire chief EMS report enclosed in our packets. Is there any other comments anyone wanted to make?
Not tonight.
No? Okay, thank you. Zoning SEO reports, a copy of that is also enclosed in our packets. Sewer engineer report.
For last month, everything, we've been coordinating with the operators for, as far as operations, everything seems to be fine at the plant at the moment. There's no issues there. As far as the Route 100 manhole repair, that's still waiting for a permit. I've been able to get an update on where that permit stands. Still waiting on, it's still in permit review. The force main relocation, that permit, we got the water quality management permit. We submitted for ENS permit through Conservation District. We had our first comments from that we received yesterday, I believe it was. And we're getting those comments addressed and back in. The gas and diesel storage tank, that's moving forward. You had your pre-construction meeting, everything was forward with that, and we're ready. They are
It's getting close.
getting close to it yet. I'm not sure exactly the date that they gave for delivery yet.
But from the email I saw yesterday, they are going to schedule the demolition pretty soon, but then the tank, the new tank, they said it will be, I think it said 8 to 10 weeks.
8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know it was 8 to 10, I didn't know if they gave an actual date yet or not, just the time frame. So that's where that stands. Actually, one thing in your permit at this point, concerning the generator at the Weinsteiger pump station, last year we had received a grant for $100,000 from LSA. We just got word yesterday that we received a second grant from the PA Small Water Sewer Grant in the amount of $76,565, which will cover the 100% of the construction cost of that project. So our intent would be to provide a proposal for professional services to put bidding documents together to bid that and get that together at your February meeting.
Great, good news.
So, yes. So that's good. The next thing was our professional services agreement for the Fat Grease implementation program. That was presented at the December meeting. I don't know, Joan had reviewed it and looked at it.
Yeah, I reviewed it, seemed reasonable, in line with the ordinance.
So we would just need a motion to approve that professional services agreement and start the implementation of that program.
Okay, I will make a motion to enter into the professional services agreement for the FOG program with SDE. Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
And the last thing is escrow release number 1 for Kent Camino for offsite sewer. That escrow release is $208,427.75. And we would just need a motion.
Everything's in order for that?
Everything was in order for that.
Okay.
That's all reviewed. Everything look fine with that.
Okay, we need a motion to authorize the escrow release number 1 for the offsite sewer for Camp Camino in the amount of $208,427.75.
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all I got.
So I had a question, I saw in here, and I probably lost my place again, about the Chapter 94 report. It's in bold, which is a new thing, so we've not, did we not authorize that? For 2025, due to PADEP no later than 3/31/26.
Yeah, where's that?
Do we, I mean, it's not a hurry then, because we have February yet, or should we start?
We just need to get the information from, where? Oh, there it is, on top two.
Yep.
Yeah, we just need to get the information from the operators to do that, and, through our professional services agreement already that we have, would authorize us to do that.
Sorry about that.
So we don't need to authorize?
I don't think,
Go
no,
ahead, silence.
that would be, I don't believe it was ever authorized in the past. I think it's just part of our professional services agreement for the year.
Yeah. I think you're right, yeah. I don't think you need to.
That's my error, the way I wrote that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I just need to get the information from the operators.
Okay. So we'll move on to the township engineer report.
Thank you. We have our report dated January 15th. Just a couple notes regarding planning commission matters. At the February planning commission, there'll be 2 plans that will be reviewed. The first is the final plan for reserve at Bartow. So that first submission, the final plan was received, and that will be reviewed at the February meeting. And second is the Rose A Grove subdivision, which is a 2-lot subdivision of Ms. Grove's property at the corner of Route 100 and Hopkinsville Road. It's splitting the house off from creating a roughly 10-acre lot separate from the house, and there's no proposed development on that new lot at this time. Regarding agenda items, first matter on the agenda is an escrow release for Camp Camino for the on-site improvements. And we have a release recommendation in the letter dated January 15th in the amount of $551,547.42.
Okay, I will make a motion to
She
$551,547.42
was
equals
listening.
$469,438.
Okay, she made the motion. Does anybody want a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay. Did you put her to sleep?
I put it to sleep. That was something that picked up in saying that. I don't know why.
I will make a motion to release that escrow number 6 in the amount of $551,547.42. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Then we have 3 matters for the Miami Road pedestrian improvements project. We are in the process of applying for a highway occupancy permit and a signal permit because their project includes a flashing beacon at the crosswalk, so that requires a traffic signal permit from PennDOT. So there's 3 documents that we need approval of for submission of those permit applications. So the first is a resolution, remember for that, Sue?
2026-19.
Okay, and that is a resolution that will authorize the manager of Washington Township to sign PennDOT applications and agreements. So we would need a motion to adopt resolution 2026-19, which is a signatory authority resolution.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt resolution 2026-19?
I will make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the second matter is a traffic signal maintenance agreement. This is required by PennDOT for traffic signal, and Township currently does not have this agreement, even though we do have a signal currently, but in order to obtain a new traffic signal permit, we're required to enter into this maintenance agreement with PennDOT. It's their standard agreement. I believe Jones.
It's a standard agreement.
We really don't have a choice.
Right, there's no negotiating the terms of it.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, so we would need a motion approving the traffic signal maintenance agreement between Washington Township and PennDOT.
Okay, I will make that motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then the third is just a motion approving submittal of the traffic signal permit application and signature of that application by the manager.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the submittal of traffic signal application for 9 Road Crosswalk Signal?
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's everything we have.
Done, sorry. Sorry.
No, that's,
And everybody else, I'm sorry.
Solicitor's report.
Okay, Valley Run hydrant testing, I sent the letter out requesting the hydrant testing to water company at the Swamp Pike Gilbertsville address, and so I'm waiting for response.
So has anybody responded yet?
I've not received the responses of yet.
We had just recently received information of a better address, so she had to
So
resend.
May-
Right, I resent it, certified mail this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Passmore Road, water runoff, temporary construction easement, no, I have not received anything regarding that. Marlowe zoning hearing board decision appeal, there has been no docket activity by the appellant on that. Sewer easement, 2213 Old Route 100, that was covered under force main relocation. Okay, AI data center ordinance. You've all received a draft
Yeah.
of a proposed AI data center ordinance. The draft as I've prepared it would allow data centers and data center accessory uses by special exception in 4 districts. They would be commercial, C commercial, LI light industrial, GI, and GI general industrial, so 3 districts where they'd be allowed by special exception. And the rest of the ordinance contains certain performance standards for AI data centers, and I'll just go over kind of the highlights of them. A maximum building height of 65 feet inclusive of roof-mounted equipment, and HVAC units and cooling towers. If there's an accessory use, or accessory building, that should be no greater than the height of the principal building. Minimum lot size, 3 acres, maximum impervious coverage, which is lot and building coverage, no more than 60%. Setbacks from public road rights of way, 100 feet. Residential uses or boundaries of the residential and high density and residential village district, 200 feet. Sensitive receptors, and a sensitive receptor would be, for example, a hospital, a nursing home, a school, a daycare center. It would be 500-foot setback. Bodies of water 200 feet, and setback of parking areas at least 50 feet from the road rights of way and property lines, or the more sensitive properties, 100-foot setback. There is also a requirement of a landscape buffer that is a fairly detailed requirement of different types of trees and shrubs to screen a data center from view. There are also requirements for berming, screening, and fencing to the degree possible with some detail. A concern with data centers on page 5 is noise and vibration because of the concern about the servers and the cooling equipment running constantly. And this would set a decibel level during business hours, Monday through Friday, of 67 decibels, and 57 on night and weekend time frames. There would also need to be a preliminary study and an as-built sound study. Water and sewer on page 6 is also a concern with data centers, water in particular, because there's a lot of water that is required for cooling of the servers, and there's always concern that that will impact the local wells. And for the way I've phrased this is with public water for its potable water, its drinking water, and connection to public sanitary sewer. but for cooling, the data center would not utilize water from any well in the township or public water system serving the township. And the applicant would be required to demonstrate an alternate source of water for these operations, like having water trucked in and a water tank, for example, would be considered an acceptable solution. Also, the use of water recycling, closed loop system to cool the servers. There would also be a requirement of a water feasibility study and any projected water demands. And if there is going to be any type of water extraction, that would be have to be approved by the Delaware River Basin Commission. Although if water is being trucked in, that's all the less likely, because domestic water is not impacted. The next area of concern is power supply, and is there going to be sufficient power available for a continually operating data center? And any data center applicant would be required to get documentation from the electric service provider that the power capacity is available, and providing a study of feasibility, and that it will not negatively impact the surrounding region. It won't lead to, for example, brownouts, blackouts, or creating a demand that's going to increase electric prices. Contains requirements for battery storage and equipment safety. There has to be an emergency response plan because of the equipment that's stored in data centers and some of the special hazards that could be posed. Emergency planning is required. There has to be an electronic waste disposal plan, emergency contact information, parking, minimum one space per employee, maximum number of employees on the largest shift, plus 10 visitor spaces, off-street loading requirement, lighting to comply with the subdivision and land development ordinance, section 107-42, which addresses lighting and the shielding of lighting to prevent glare off-site. Then the pages 10 and 11, the requirement of an environmental impact assessment and environmental and community impact analysis. And that goes into a great deal of detail as to what studies need to be provided by a data center applicant, including steps that can be taken for mitigation of any environmental impacts. The next section is on decommissioning. Decommissioning and financial security for decommissioning would also be required in the plan for decommissioning. So again, this is a first draft. John is going to be reviewing it as well. But what I'd like to do is have all of your comments on it, and as well as Johnson, we can have a working draft to send to the Planning Commission.
So as far as the decommissioning, what is the life cycle of these? Do we know?
I'm not sure what the life cycle is. It's a fairly new concept.
Right, yeah, okay, that's good. And I looked at the two samples that you provided from different areas, and it looks like this one is based on the more thorough.
It is.
Detailed one. It looked like Upper Macungie. I think, weren't they in a hurry to just get something on the?
Upper Macungie, I don't know about whether Upper Macungie was or not. What I did was I looked at
Theirs was really vague.
I looked at the Penn Futures ordinance and incorporated the best parts of that, but there was also one from Tioga County that was really very detailed, and there were others I looked at as well. I've researched this fairly thoroughly.
Joan, I have a question.
Yeah.
In the event that the data center would lose power, they're not gonna have like diesel generators in there or anything like that for backup power. Is that, I mean,
They can have a generator they can have generators with backup power, and I would assume that that would be part of their plans to have backup power.
I'm just, that's gonna go way above 67 decibels.
Right, well, that's an exception that's written in here, is that says at the bottom of page 5, maximum decibel levels specified herein shall not apply during times of power outage when generators are in use. However, the sound studies shall also evaluate and report anticipated decibel levels when all emergency power generation equipment is running, including backup generators. So that would be an exception, but during times of power outages, everybody's running generators that are noisy, so this wouldn't add that much more.
I was just worried about, when you're talking about a 24, 28 kilowatt generator, it's a lot more than running your little 10 horse.
True, but I mean, the use would be set back anyway from property lines, and there's landscaping and buffering, and that would probably include sound mitigation. Dave, do you have a question?
Yeah, so what about radiation, and when you do the decommission, are you gonna put a time limit on that, like 5 months, 3 months, 30 days?
Well, the decommissioning plan, each would be individual, but what we were mainly concerned with decommissioning was financial security, so that if it's not completed within a reasonable time, that we had financial security in place for the township to complete it. And another thing that we have in the portion on decommissioning is that the township is granted the right to injunctive relief to effect or complete decommissioning, as well as the township's right to seek reimbursement from the owner for decommissioning costs in excess of the amount deposited in escrow, and to file a lien on real estate owned by the owner or successor in which they have an interest for excess.
So what about the radiation that it might produce
During decommissioning?
while it's operating?
Well, one item that we have in here is an environmental impact study. And the environmental impact assessment would include air pollution. It would include public nuisance relating to operations. It would include any type of impacts. I mean, I could include radiologic hazards among the other mitigation, among the other impacts.
I have a question. This is preventative, right? Like there hasn't been a proposed thing, you just want to get ahead of it? Is that what this ordinance is for?
The purpose is to get ahead of these applications, because we know that many municipalities have been receiving applications, and we know that if there is land available and that is potentially friendly to it, of the right size and topography and location, that it might be of interest. And if we don't have an ordinance on the books and there is nothing in the ordinance specifically allowing it, then there's the possibility that you could have a challenge and get site-specific relief. So it is to get ahead of it.
And my second question is, will this be given to the EAC so that we can review it and make suggestions or any comments to it?
If there, that's something where if there are environmental impact studies, those would be public documents that the EAC would be able to review. Yes, done.
I read something about in Limerick where there was a plan for an AI data center.
Yes.
What I read was very interesting, and how much that whoever was planning this was going to pump into the surrounding area and to the township as far as taking care of a lot of the expenses. So if you're aware of it, I'm sure, and that might give you some good ideas too.
Yeah, I am aware of a proposal in Limerick Township, Montgomery County. And I know that I think they have an ordinance in place, and that requires the same types of studies that are required here. I mean, many have the Penn Futures ordinance. But I am aware of a proposal. And I think there's a land swap involved in that as well.
Yeah,
With-
I mean,
with
they
land
want
in
in there
Berks
so
Township,
bad, they're
yeah.
willing to give up their firstborn, so, yeah.
Anyone else?
So what is the next?
The next step is, I'd like the board, this is a first reading, I'd like the board to review and comment. And then I would like to incorporate that and engineering comments
Does this go to the planning
to go to the
commission?
planning commission.
And can we have our EMS people review also if they have any input for
Absolutely,
batteries and all the?
absolutely, yes. I think it's something that should be reviewed. I mean, in here, we have emergency management planning, so to have emergency management looking at it at this early stage is a good idea, to see if there's anything else that needs to be included.
Right, so we don't need a motion or anything?
No
Just still
motion
working
needed,
on
just
in progress.
continue to work on it. All right, the next item where I have any developments is Route 100 Euros cleanup. I have sent out discovery requests in accordance with the court's order and case management order. So I'm continuing to work on that. Nothing on the Edison Walk and Reserve at Bartow or Prestige. And so that's all I have unless anybody has any questions.
Has anybody driven past it, did they get the cars out of the right of way for snow plowing or?
No, I'm continuing to work on that. I'm continuing to contact their attorney about it and haven't had a lot of success, unfortunately, but I'm continuing to work on that. But that's something, if it is, we have to discuss whether or not that needs to go to court or not, or whether just to continue with the litigation on that.
My biggest concern is with this upcoming snow, if our guys plow snow up on top of those cars and damage something, it's gonna come
Yeah.
back on us, even though they're in the right of way, but
I'll contact their attorney again. He, unfortunately, is not returning my calls, but I'm not sure if he even represents Mr. Here again. Yes, Dave?
So the best thing you can do right now is call a state of emergency when it starts snowing. And if that happens, they're in the right of way, they're in our right of way, they need to be moved back. If they ain't moved back and something happens to them, that's why you call the emergency.
Well, I'm sure that there will be a if the forecasts are correct, I'm sure that this weekend there will be a snow emergency called.
I mean, do it ahead of time, that way he can't say that, hey, I didn't know about it.
That's all I have, Miss.
Okay, thank you. Park and Rec Board? Mark? You don't look like Mark.
No. Mark Beadle's on a skiing trip to Vermont right now, so he asked me to
Great.
do the report on
Great.
Wayne, the vice chair. Would you like me to just do a 5-minute review of the projects?
Sure.
Okay.
I think you said there were a couple of motions and stuff too, you needed approval.
Yes.
Yep, go ahead.
So the Washington Township Park Pedestrian Safety and ADA Access Project, John already covered that, so that's in the works. Washington Township Park Master Plan Project, the grant has been received and the Parks and Recreation Board is continuing to discuss that project. Washington Township Park Playground Upgrade, an award of $200,000 was received, and the Parks and Recreation Board is requesting permission from the Board of Supervisors to apply for additional grant funding from the DCNR. I'll give you a copy of my notes, and the requests that we're making are highlighted for here. Bartow Community Park Master
So
Plan.
should we do these in order? Do you want that
Yes,
authorization right
yeah.
now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so I will make a motion authorizing the Park and Rec Board to move forward with the DCNR C2P2 grant for the playground upgrade project. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The Bartow Community Park Master Plan Project, Chester Valley Engineers, or CVE, was the lowest bid, and we received good recommendations from other municipalities. And the cost of this master plan project is covered by a grant. We're asking permission from the Board of Supervisors to sign the CVE contract and move forward.
Okay, is there a motion to execute the contract for professional services with Chester Valley Engineers for the Bartow Community Park Master Plan Project?
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Bartow Community Park, Bartow Trail Replacement Project. That's the walking trails back here, but redo it so they're more wide and accessible. A grant request has been submitted for that project. We're waiting to hear back. Bartow Community Park Meadowbrook Trail Connector Project. That's improve the trail back here between our park and the Meadowbrook community so that people can safely walk over to the park and not trip over roots, etc. So a grant funds have been received, and the Township Maintenance Department has this on their to-do list to put that safe walking trail over to the development. Bartow Community Park Kiosk Replacement Project, that's in progress, under discussion. Bartow Community Park and Washington Community Park Surveillance Camera Project. Grant has been requested, and that's in progress. The War Memorial Restoration Project, a grant was requested, and that's in progress. So those are all those projects. As far as fun activities, community events, we had real good success this past year with the Easter egg hunt and the fall festival, and a lot of people attended, which was great. So Mark Beadle would like to set up a February bonfire event back here in the park, because we have a big pile of wood out there from the fall festival, but it started raining, so they couldn't do the bonfire. So we'd like to do a bonfire event in February to watch the fire and have snacks. And then also a March Easter egg hunt again. And so we're asking for permission from the supervisors to work on those two community events.
Do they have to be separate, or can we do them both?
I think you do them both together.
So the bonfire, one weekend in February?
Yes.
He's not sure, does he have to work it out with the?
He had
tree guys, right?
different dates
For help,
on
yeah.
his notes.
Okay, and then the Easter egg hunt, the last I saw for that was March 28th.
Probably. I'll look at the notes.
I don't think we voted on that or talked about the dates yet. We just were trying to gather the dates and then we were supposed to, but we just,
So we just need to authorize.
to be able to, for us to move forward to work and decide on these things.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sounds good.
I will make a motion authorizing the Park and Rec Board to move forward with these events that they've described.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And Mark Beadle said that he'd submit a proposed budget for the Easter egg, not to cover the supplies. Next, 2026 projects being discussed by the Parks and Recreation Board, so it's in discussion. The Culvert-Dale Rail to Trail Walking Biking Trail, a joint use agreement between the Washington Township Park and the Washington Elementary School, and identifying lands in the township of value for future public use parks. So those are things that are discussed by the Parks and Recreation Board. And the Parks and Recreation Board has been making recommendations to the Planning Commission for the 1606 Main Street development, which is crossing the Valley Diner. So we've made some recommendations to the Planning Commission. We're asking for permission for the Board of Supervisors for the Parks and Recreation Board to work with the Planning Commission, the solicitor, the township engineer to draft a revised SALDO, which stands for Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance, And I know you received information on that. So we're just asking for permission to work with the solicitor, the engineer, and the planning commission on that. And then more details will be presented.
So some of the description about some of the revisions, I saw like the suggestions, so that, and the reason we're doing this is because, you know, the over 55 place requires hot lots, which doesn't make any sense, right? So we're trying to make it make more sense
Yes.
and have more modern ideas and stuff. Okay,
So I
so,
think it's okay for Parks and Recreation Board to work with
yeah, right, okay.
three other
So,
parties.
I will make a motion authorizing the Park and Rec Board to work with the Planning Commission, solicitor, and township engineer to revise the Saldo Section 107-28 open space and recreational areas. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And that's the end of my notes, so. Is that a nice quick presentation?
Yep, excellent, very good, thank you. Roadmaster's report.
So the only thing on there tonight is Hayes Schoolhouse Road, where we had the water issue. And the project is complete. We did receive the invoice for payment. However, after speaking with Brian, he has a question or concern as to one of the charges on the invoice. I did reach out to Saks today, but I did not hear back from them. So we're just going to table this to next month.
Okay. So the payment.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to, okay, thank
So I
you.
have a question. Since Brian isn't here, I was gonna say, our guys did a phenomenal job cleaning up with that 3-storm round we had last weekend. A question was posed to me, maybe Dave knows the answer, I don't know. That small section of Forgedale Road between Lenape, whatever you wanna call it, and where the trailer park is, where the township's changed 3 times, where's the line that we plow to?
Deer Run Road?
Okay, so they actually go up and turn around there?
No, we go up Deer Run Road to, what's that guy's name? He's on the first big driveway on the left.
Okay. I didn't know,
Yes, the
I didn't know
trailer
because it
park.
goes from Washington to Hereford to District in like 300 feet.
Yeah, we got about half that road. It goes to, gosh, what's that guy's name? He's a little short guy, he had a produce thing.
Yeah, I know you're talking about, I can't think of his name either, but,
It's on the left. We go to
Okay.
his driveway and stop, turn around there and go back out.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Supervisors unfinished business.
So the first item is the adoption of the 2026 budget.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt
I
the
have a question.
2026 budget? Sure.
Can you explain what you're gonna be cutting and what you changed in the budget from what was passed to what you wanna pass now?
So I think it was discussed last time, we're taking out of the general fund some of the money for the paving roads. It's like 105,709. And instead, we're gonna take that money from the Highway Aid Fund unappropriated balance and add that to the paving fund to pave the roads. So that it all just
So
balances.
it's about 105,000 total?
$709.
Okay.
And that was the only change. Okay. So is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then we need to adopt the resolution 2026-1, which is the wage schedule, which goes hand in hand with the adoption of the budget.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I will make that motion.
So I am voting under the rule of necessity, but I will disclose that my husband is a township employee. I will second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
We also need to adopt the amended resolution 2026-17, which is the fee schedule, with the addition of the new fog fees from the fats, oil, and grease ordinance.
Okay, I will make a motion to adopt the amended resolution 2026-17. Is there a second?
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at the last meeting, there was some concern about reappointing Orlando Law, and due to the higher paralegal service fees, I believe it was a difference of about $40 per hour. I did speak to Mr. Orlando. He stated that if he were to reduce the fee for us, he would have to reduce the fee for 7 other municipalities, and he, at this point, would not be willing to do that. I did also want to mention that this is a fee, this is passed on to the applicant. This is not paid by the township. We do have a zoning hearing coming up at the end of this month. So that's,
Oh, so we need to appoint
So I believe you had a question.
Who did we use last year?
Jean Orlando.
The same thing?
So I will make the motion to appoint Orlando Law Offices as the Washington Township Zoning Hearing Board Solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
and then that's the admin building.
Yes, all right. Are you gonna fill that or?
So we have the last 2 applications for payment for the general contractor on the admin building renovations. Application number 2061-04 is in the amount of $64,478.46. And application number 2061-05 is in the amount of $19,700.47. And again, these are final payments, and then that project is complete.
Okay, can we do them together? Or separate?
We do them together.
Together. Okay, is there a motion to make the final payments, number 2061-04 and 2061-05?
I will make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Under new business, as I mentioned, we have a zoning hearing scheduled for January 28th, 2026. I would like to know if the board takes a position on that hearing.
So I looked at it didn't really just, so what the issue is, it's the front yard? Is that?
It's like front or side?
Was this from the pole barn?
Yes.
It's at what, 30 by 36?
Yeah.
So it's like half the size. Is that the property the house is, do you know? The house is
I'm
way
not
back.
familiar
It's
with
like a long
the
driveway and the
property.
house is way back. So it's like mostly like all open.
And apparently he had talked with the neighbors surrounding.
He has signed documents from like 11 neighbors or
Yeah.
something like that, that nobody has a problem with.
Right.
I just couldn't figure out from his little figure how he put where the whole barn is gonna go, but it just would be really, I don't know where the driveway is, or the house, I think, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't really wanna oppose it. We can, can we either choose to be in favor or let the zoning hearing board?
You can take no position. You're not required to take a position.
Okay. What do you think?
I personally don't have a problem with it. I think just let the zoning hearing board do what they're supposed to be doing. I guess worst case scenario, it gets appealed and then we'll have to make a decision, but.
Well, if it gets appealed, the decision would be to whether or not to intervene in the appeal. But again, it's not mandatory that the Board of Supervisors take a position.
Do we have to make a motion for that, or just, we're not making a motion to?
Not make a
make
motion, yeah,
Okay.
you don't
No
have to.
motion, okay.
Okay, Joy, can you talk about the?
Yeah.
Stone Quarry?
Yeah, there's an agreement in place from 1991, which was the settlement of litigation with Martin Stone Quarries and some of its affiliates. And part of that agreement required the extraction of a certain amount of minerals and overburden every year. In 2020, for the first time, that agreement was amended to waive that requirement due to economic conditions, which really have not improved since then as far as demand for the types of minerals being extracted. So Martin Stone Quarries has asked again this year for an amendment, which I've prepared and which can be approved by the board tonight. But they've also made the request that future amendments, future waivers of the extraction of rock and overburden should ask that it be done by motion rather than continual amendments to the agreement. So what is the board's view on that? I think it'd be easier not to have to amend it every year, certainly less expensive for the board. And so we'll need a motion. First of all, the eighth amendment has been prepared. It's in your packets. So I'll need a motion to approve that amendment.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the 8th amendment to the Martin Stone Quarries 1991 agreement. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then the second motion would be for future agreements, 2027 going forward, that Martin Stone Quarries can simply make the request and it can be approved or denied by motion.
Okay, is there a motion to amend the agreement so that future extensions can be done by a simple motion instead of?
I will make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is the authorization to submit the highway occupancy permit application to PennDOT. This is for the Rose Groves property located at 1177 Route 100 for the connection of the sewer line.
Details about it, or it's just, they've never been?
They're proposing a grinder pump. The grinder pump would be directionally drilled across Route 100 and connect to the public sewer on the other side of Route 100 from where the property is. To cross Route 100, they need a PennDOT pump. And they would have to, their applicant would need to be submitted on the, as far as the township.
Okay. So I will make a motion to authorize submission of the HOP application to PennDOT for 1177 Route 100 sewer line. Is there a second?
I'll second that
All
motion.
those in favor?
Aye.
And then we're looking for authorization for 3 road occupancy permits. The first one is for 75 Bartow Road. This is work that's going to be completed by UGI Utilities. The permit application has been reviewed by both Brian and Josh, and the fee for that permit has been paid.
Okay, I will make a motion authorizing the township road occupancy permit for 75 Bartow Road for UGI Utilities. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The second one is for 20 Backcountry Road. This is Optics for fiber optic line installation, and again, reviewed by Brian and Josh, and the fee has been paid for that as well.
Okay, is there a motion to authorize the road occupancy permit for 20 Backcountry Road for Phi Optics?
I'll make that motion.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so 38 Backcountry Road is also Phi Optics for fiber optic line. However, we have not received payment on that permit application at this time.
So is that the procedure, is we don't approve it until we get the fee?
Well, or you can approve it contingent
Okay.
on,
Okay. So I would make a motion authorizing the Township Road occupancy permit for 38 Backcountry Road by Phi Optics, provided that the fee is paid. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
we have a Pliget CD that is maturing as of February 19th. I don't know if you wanted to take a look at that tonight, or if you want to wait.
Honestly, I asked to have it on the agenda so Missy can get the information together, but she was already a step ahead, so. Honestly, I mean, looking at all the rates, 180 days is gonna be our best benefit for reinvestment. And to go to the 270 days, you're gonna lose, percentage on there. And at 180 days, you can decide whether you wanna roll it over, do another 6 months, or if the 1 year rate's better at that point. You could do the 90 day as well, but then it's gonna come up again sooner, so it's kind of a, whatever, Romney decides, but at 3.72% for 90 or 180, you're not losing anything. They go to 270 for 3.69. I know it's not a lot, but maybe we'll maximize what we got.
Okay, so, but Missy, these are like today, right? So by the time this matures, February 19th is when we're gonna get, you actually will get new numbers? Okay, so how does that work? Can we just authorize you to pick the best yield, or?
Well, I can contact you, I can get you more, when they come out. They come out each week.
Okay.
Are you having a workshop meeting beginning of February? Have to be like a week before, you might be able to have the rates, they're good usually for a week or so.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Oh, no, it's still left.
Yeah, you have to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that may be the only item, there's nothing else on for the agendas.
I think usually, do we need to make a motion to authorize these, or
We need to authorize these.
for her to renew the CD for us?
You would need to make a motion for that.
So what should we do? Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I think,
As long as they don't change too much, go with the 270, or go with the 180, maybe.
yeah, if we're gonna get the higher interest rate, either the 90 or the 180, whatever.
Whichever's higher.
Higher, and like I said, we can address it again in 3 months or 6 months and decide what, where the best interest rate is from there.
Okay, so pick the best interest rate at that point, okay?
All right, I'll make a motion for Missy to take care of reinvesting that CD in either a 90-day or 180-day, whatever the better interest rate is.
The most favorable interest rate.
Most favorable interest rate. Do I have a second?
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then the last item is the Environmental Advisory Council discussion that we.
So did you say you had an application for
For,
that?
yes.
Is that person here?
I think so. Julia Smith, is she here? No.
Can we appoint her in that section? If she
Yeah,
wanted
not,
If she wants to be on it, okay.
yeah, she's not required to be here.
Okay, yeah. Okay. The senior finance manager, senior college, okay. Okay,
The more volunteers, the better.
yeah. Okay, I will make a motion appointing Julia Smith to the Environmental Advisory.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then the next thing is, I will make a motion to appoint Dwayne Henney to run the recycle program and organize the volunteers for that until further notice. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
I have a question. Wait, go ahead, Bill.
You want to make it, go ahead.
You want to speak or me?
Okay, in the rules and regulations or ordinance of the EAC, it says on 4-7, now let me get back on that. Yes, on 4.7, powers and duties, A, to develop, organize, promote, and operate a community recycling by the committee and program. I have a problem with Dwayne. I actually was on the phone with him for about 45 minutes, maybe more last night on some things. And it wasn't mean or ugly or nothing. I don't have a problem with him helping, running, having a key and helping with the volunteers and stuff because we need them. But I also think it takes his hands off of trying to improve it, where the committee can come up with things to improve it. And some things I had said to him last night because I was involved with it before. And back then, we had a real good committee. 2 of them actually became supervisors, and the husband of one of them became supervisors. And another one's actually the chair right now on the planning commission. And it wasn't where somebody was saying, look what I did, or that wasn't my idea, I don't want to do it. We all did it together, and that's what I'm hoping this committee's going to be. And he's usually at the meetings too, I believe in letting people talk for their opinions. And now we've got each other's emails, stuff like that. I'm sorry, I know you're a chairperson, but I reached out and gave him a call and we talked about it. I'd like to have us continue with the way it says about us still being in charge and trying to operate it. Not trying to say they shouldn't be operating it, but I think we should still be in charge, trying to make some improvements and do some things because, not because of Dwayne, but some things are a lot went downhill. We used to break even, pretty close to break even or make money at times on that. And it's not happening now anymore. I've seen what the performance grant's been, and it used to be like $1,000 over that or more. And I think I should continue being that way. I'm sorry, but that's what I feel as a member of the committee and vice chair. That's just my opinion, and also as a resident and somebody who helped build it up at one time of what it was with the rest of the committee, not myself, but a bunch of them. That's my opinion. I just feel it should be that way. If you feel down the road we're not doing the right job, or we're arguing among ourselves, that's hurting it, then maybe you all look at it then. Otherwise, you're going to, it is a sort of rules and regulations, and it's also like an ordinance, and you can't just change it without advertising and going through the whole thing. I think you should give us a chance. You might not like us, but that's my opinion, and I think you all pull back your motions, and then at least consider that. I didn't get on the committee not to be doing this, and I was just voted on. And I don't know, Dwayne wants to disagree with me. He's got that right, but I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
I'll just be operating the day-to-day operation on the recycling center. The EAC manages the business.
Right, that's basically what I'm saying. And we're not trying to push him, and, I actually, at the last meeting, I got most of the people came in, I know you, and, and that's just.
Can I speak? Sorry. My concern is that our ordinance states that the power and duties of the Environmental Advisory Council shall have the following powers: to develop, organize, promote, and operate a community recycling program. That is what the ordinance states. So if you want to change that, then you have to change the ordinance. If not, then it should be in the power of the EAC to do what the ordinance states. And if Dwayne wants to volunteer and do things like that, we have no problem with that at all. But to take away the power from the EAC to do that, I mean, you're gonna have to change the ordinance then. I don't see anything in here that says that you can make that decision. So that's my question, is how does that conflict with the ordinance?
Again, I just imagine the day-by-day operation of it and finding out the volunteers, et cetera, and working with Susan Brown.
But that does not what our ordinance states. Our ordinance does not state that the Board of Supervisors or Susan Brown is in charge. It says the EAC is. And unless you're a member of the EAC, which you are not, and you say you do not want to be, then you do not have that power. And I don't think that they have the power to appoint that to you if our ordinance says otherwise.
I think what we said was we would make the recycling a subcommittee.
We suggested to have a subcommittee, and we asked you if you would like to come and be part of it, but still, that is in the power of the EAC. What they want to vote on is to take that power completely away from us, and that is against what our ordinance is. So if that's what they want to do, then they should vote to amend the ordinance, and then go through that process, that legal process of doing that.
I also want to say just a little bit more. At night, there was a confusion how many members were on it. It also says there's 5 members residents, Washington residents only, not 6. So we only need 3 to run a meeting. So we had 3, that's all was on the committee at the time. Now we got a 4th one coming. But I solved that up because I was trying to get the answer and didn't get it. And it does say 5 residents of the Washington Township. I just want to bring that up there. And they're appointed by the Board of Supervisors. They're not appointed by us. But I have no problem with Dwayne, and we talked about it last night, and he wants to stay involved, and the group of people as far as I know, they want to, and I want to be out there with him, but I'm like,
That's up to our board to meet and discuss that, and talk about that amongst ourselves and come to that conclusion, according to our ordinance. That's not up to the Board of Supervisors. If you'd like a copy of the ordinance, I would give it to you. If you'd like to see it.
No, we have the ordinance, I don't have it in front of me right now, but.
Do you want this? See it? Do you want to see mine?
I think he's going to just give it a chance. I'm going to be working with him. I hope they are too.
We're all going to be working together. Here. You want this? You want it?
The reason I second having Dwayne
Thanks.
stay on until further notice is to promote a smooth transition, whether it takes 1 time, 4 times, that everybody knows the ropes. And
we set up a meeting. Bill set up a meeting to do that.
And if all he's doing is popping a padlock and keeping his volunteers coming, to me, that doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong angle, I could be. And I'm not trying to discredit EAC or anything. I mean, we're all a community. We have to work together. And if Dwayne knows the ins and outs of both bailers and everything else,
And I'm not saying we want him to just show us what to do and leave. I want them around. We always had volunteers there. It wasn't always just a committee. Always. Back when I was involved with it, it was always like that. But the committee itself, like he actually said, do the managing part of it, right? Is that basically?
Use the term day-by-day operation.
Yes.
EAC manages the business.
Yes.
We need to say to what this question is. They wanted to authorize somebody else to take control of the recycling center.
That's what the motion was.
And that's what the motion is, so I don't want to get into all these
Run the recycle
theatrics.
program and organize the volunteers, which is basically what.
Yeah, but you
So-
said the way you worded it was to take it completely away from the EMC. EAC.
Well, what's the point of making that motion then? That's conflicting with ordinance.
I think the motion maybe needs to be reworded, because, I think you need to have someone experienced, in organizing the volunteers and the event, at least for the event that's coming up.
We don't have an event, which event
Don't
coming
you
up?
have a recycling event coming up?
Not until, we don't do the, we're doing the
February-
fall
we have
cleanup or summer
regular
cleanup, and then on
recycling.
February 7th,
February 7th, yeah.
Yeah, monthly,
on February
monthly
7th.
Right.
recycling.
Right, so you have monthly recycling event. So I think the idea is to have Dwayne to assist in those ways for that,
Well,
February 7th event.
Yes, well, we were planning on, again, discussing this and working out the dates, but also this is another thing, so I know like we have it on Wednesdays or the first Wednesday of the month, right?
Second.
Second Wednesday of the month,
But that's-
so,
That's not during.
Not till March.
no, not till
Yeah,
March.
that's before.
But if you do
February.
that and you appoint him, what if there, our current actual EAC board, who is authorized by the ordinance to run the recenter, what if we needed to look into changing that date? What if there was other events we wanted to host at the recycling center?
Change the date of the recycling?
No, I'm just giving examples of
Okay.
that by appointing, no, I'm giving
No
examples
date
that by
should
appointing
change
somebody
people.
who's not on the EAC, it's a problem. One, it goes against our ordinance, and two, it could pose a problem if there's things that we want to do or other stuff like that. You're basically excluding everybody else. There's no problem with somebody being there on the 7th and Dwayne showing them what to do and helping out and doing that type of stuff and us working together. But to take, Bill's already set that up, so I don't know why, if that's the case, why is this being asked as a motion then?
Okay, Dwayne, is that your understanding that you'll be there be able to be there on the 7th
Oh,
to
sure.
organize the volunteer? Okay, so, and Tara, you agree to that? Bill, you
Yeah, we all
agree
agreed to that already, yeah, but we do not agree to giving power, taking it away from the EAC and appointing him to be the one to run the recycling center. It should be the EAC itself, because that's running the recycling center.
And I agree with that.
So, then
At that point.
there's no real, let's rescind the motion, because there's no real need for it at this point. And we'll look at the ordinance, make sure the ordinance is up to date.
I'd like to make a motion to retract the motion.
Yeah, motion to rescind,
Motion to rescind.
or actually, I
No, you got
just
to
rescinded
amend
the
the
motion.
ordinance.
I would always say that, I rescind the motion was rescinded.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll give you some ideas on the ordinance itself.
So subdivision planning, there's none. Subdivision extension, a motion and second is needed granting the following subdivision extension. February subdivision from February 3rd, 2026 to May 4th, 2026. Is there a motion? I will second. All those in favor? Communications, there's a copy of the ARB delinquent account report, packets, announcements. The next Board of Supervisors workshop meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. if needed. The regular Board of Supervisors meeting will be held on Thursday, February 26th at 7 p.m. Snow's coming. Please be nice to your road crews. They're trying to do the best for you. Executive session, if needed. Nope. Okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
And the workshops definitely not, or maybe
If needed.
48 hours before?
We would cancel.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
You didn't tell me that.
Municipality is built on.